All right, hello, good morning, and welcome to Gentle Flow Yoga. So my name is Lindsay. Thank you for attending today's session. I'm just gonna wait about a minute or two until I see anybody hopping on. But thank you so much for joining. No equipment is necessary today. If you have a mat, great, make sure you pull that mat out. Otherwise, if you're on a soft surface, that's fine too. Or you can grab a towel and lay that beneath you as well and use that as a mat replacement. So today's practice is going to really be focused on the lower body, again, opening up the hips, but also holding these poses for a longer duration of time. So you can actually feel that stretch, but also gain strength at the same time. So make sure you have a water bottle near you as well, and be able to move through these movements as best as you can. I will provide modifications if needed, so make sure you're listening to your body throughout today's practice today, and just be gentle with your body. This is a time for you to slow down, to really find connection with movements in your body, to build more awareness. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and get started. So you're going to be wanting to be seated in a seated position. I always like to bring one foot on top of the other, and I want you to sit nice and tall. So imagine there was a wall right behind you, and you're keeping everything flat up against that wall. So you're lifting through your rib cage, your shoulders are back, and you're keeping your head nice and long, just drawing the shoulders down. So just go ahead and breathe here. We're going to breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, and make sure you have equal counts with your inhalations and exhalation breaths. So inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. So nice and slow, cater to whatever count you need for today's practice, and just be aware with the tune of your breath. Nice job, and a couple more deep breaths just like that, inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose, allowing that chest to expand, feeling more air in our lungs, and then releasing every thought, worry, stress with an exhalation. 2 more times. Inhale and exhale. And last one, making sure you're keeping that neck nice and long. And exhale. Good. Go ahead and draw that chin in towards the chest. Again, just feeling that stretch in the back of your neck, releasing any tension there. Make sure your shoulders are drawn and relaxed. Feel that pull through your neck. Be a nice stretch. And then go ahead and bring your hands behind your head, and then just slowly, gently press that head down, bringing that chin further into that chest, not forcing that push, just to where it feels good. Good. And then go ahead and exhale, release head back to neutral. Let's extend the arms up overhead. Grab that left wrist, reach over to the right. Exhale, roll towards the center of the mat. Feel that stretch in your low back, and then stretch over to the left-hand side. Good. And then exhale, hands come back down. We're going to do that same thing other side. Inhale the arms up. Interlace that right wrist. Exhale to the left. Roll that chest through the center. And then exhale, come back up. And then exhale, release, hands to the side. Good. So we're going to come on to our fours. So really important here for proper alignment. You're keeping the wrists underneath the shoulders every time. Your knees should be directly under the hip, and then turn these feet flat. So what we're going to do is just shift your hips to the right and to the left, just working on that mobility through the low back, making sure my back is flat, and I'm pulling that navel center in towards my rib cage. Nice and slow and with control. Good. Keep going. 2 more times on either side. Last time. And then exhale. Let's come to the center. I want you, again, to have your wrists underneath shoulders. Knees are underneath hips, my feet are flat, and I just want you to squeeze those scapulars together and then exhale, release. So what we're doing is working on protraction and retraction through our muscles behind our back. These are movements that often don't get exercised enough. So it's like you're squeezing that tennis ball in between those shoulder blades, holding for a second, and then exhale, releasing. I want you guys to feel that contraction. And again, you're still pulling through that navel center, so you're not dropping those that navel center. You're keeping everything nice and tight. 2 more times. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, and then exhale, release. Good. Now coming into a cat-cow position. So we're going to curve the spine, tuck that chin to the chest, press away from the mat. Exhale, release the tailbone back, and extend that head up. Good. Inhale up. Exhale, release. Matching breath with movement, just nice, slow, and in control. Warming up our spine. Three more times. Inhaling, tucking that chin into the chest. Exhale, release. 2 more. And last one. Good. We're going to come back to a neutral position. What I want you to do is we're going to bring our left hand just outside our left shoulder, and I want you to drop your right shoulder on the middle of the mat. Again, trying to bring those hips down towards your heels. We're just stretching the face of our shoulder, and then when you're ready, extend that left arm up towards the sky if you feel comfortable. If you have that chest stability, we're working chest expansion here, stretching through the upper back, stretching through the shoulders. If that's too tight for you, keep that left hand pressed firmly onto the ground. Just holding and breathing. My hips are staying square to the shorter edges of my mat. My neck is soft. You should feel this all through that upper back, part of that low back as well. Just working on chest expansion, breathing into those lungs. Good. And then exhale, slowly press the body up and come back into that neutral position. Okay, right arm just outside that right shoulder. You're dropping your left shoulder towards the middle of the ground. And again, trying to sink those hips onto those heels as best you can. And then when you're ready, you're extending that right arm up towards the ceiling. You might find one side is a little bit tighter than the other, but that's okay. Just go where you feel the stretch, not forcing those movements, breathing into those tight areas of our body. And then exhale, releasing out nice and slow. And one more deep breath. And then exhale, so slowly release the hand, press that body back up into that neutral position. Good. This time we're going to extend that left foot out behind you into spinal balance. So your left foot is pointed down, and what I want you to do is extend that left foot up off the ground. Toes are pointed down towards the ground. And then when you're ready, extend that right arm out towards in front of you. So I'm keeping my core nice, tight, and engaged. My hips are level and square. And I'm just focusing on the traction here. So you should feel this through the back of your glute, up through your rib center, and then working that shoulder strength by pressing that arm overhead. Just hold here and breathe. Nice long line, lengthening the spine. Building heat, but maintaining balance through this challenging pose. Keep focusing on your breath. Good. Now let's draw that elbow in towards that left knee. Exhale, release back out. 2 more times. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Hold here. You should feel strength in that left shoulder, which is supporting most of your weight. Keep breathing. And then slowly exhale, release everything back down towards the ground. Good. Other side. Right foot kicks back. Go ahead and extend and elevate that leg up off the ground. And then when you're ready, extend that left arm up overhead. Now, make sure your wrist is still underneath your shoulder. You want to maintain that proper alignment. Continue to pull that navel center in through your rib cage. Don't let your hips drop. Everything nice and strong here. Really squeeze through that glute. Lengthening and reaching. Your head is in a neutral position. Keep holding and breathing. Toes are pointed down towards the ground. 2 more deep breaths. Good. Now let's bring that elbow in towards that right knee. Extend and exhale. So inhale, pull in. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Hold. Good. And then go ahead and drop everything back down. Coming back into that neutral position. Same thing. Let's bring that left leg out. Extend that right arm up overhead. We're going to inhale, crunch. Exhale, release. Then out to the side. Inhale. And then exhale. 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Out to the side. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, exhale, back to the center. Good, other side. Right foot kicks out, left arm across. Let's inhale, exhale, out to the side, exhale. Inhale, exhale, out to the side, exhale. One more, inhale, exhale, out to the side, exhale, and go ahead and release all the way back down. Good, hands out in front. Let's go ahead and shift the weight forward. Drop down all the way into Chaturanga. Let's inhale, lift into Cobra here. Elbows are tucked in towards the rib cage. I'm pressing away from my mat. Just gonna hold here and breathe. Working on that back extension. Exhale, release. Press the body up. Come back into a wide-legged child's pose here. Reaching up through the overhead, tucking that chin into the chest. 3 breaths here. Releasing those shoulders. Releasing the tension through that low back with the breath. One more inhale. And then exhale. And then at the end of your exhale, come back to that neutral position. I want you to lower all the way back down. Heels come together, and we're gonna bring our hands behind our head. What we're gonna do is Superman, but we're just challenging ourselves by engaging our glutes more by keeping our heels together. So we're gonna inhale, lift, and then exhale, release. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale, and exhale. 3 more times. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Last one, lifting that chest up off the mat. Exhale, release, hands towards the ribcage. Release the heels, come back into a child's pose. Release the tension out of that low back. Good. Nice deep breath here. And one more deep breath. And release. Good, let's come back to center, coming to that neutral position. I want your knees underneath your hips. You're just gonna press up, stretch here through your hip flexor, make a fist, place it just above your glute. You're just gonna slowly press those hips forward, rolling those shoulders back, feeling the chest expansion here, but again, also feeling that extension through that low back. Good. And then exhale, release. We're gonna come back on the floors. I want you to shift your weight, bring your right foot out in front. And then we're gonna do that modified kneeling lunge. So my hands are on the inside of my right foot, my back foot is flat. I'm just gonna shift my weight forward so I get a stretch here through my hip flexor. Just hold here. Shoulders are relaxed. Again, you're retracting those shoulder blades back, so you're squeezing that tennis ball in between your shoulder blades to keep those shoulders from creeping up into your neck, into your ears. Just feel this space here through your breath, and keep that knee tight into your rib cage. Try to make sure it's not opening out towards that right side. Good. Now take one more deep breath, and then exhale, release, sinking further and further into that mat. At the end of your exhale, place your right hand on the inside of that right foot. We're gonna open up the chest by lifting and extending that left arm up towards the ceiling. Holding here. If your range of motion isn't there, just try to see how much you can open. If you can only open here, that's fine. Otherwise, stay in that first pose that we started with. Good. Exhale, release. Drop that left hand on the inside of that right foot. We're going to twist here and extend that right arm up towards the sky. So my shoulders are stacked, pressing away from the mat with my left hand. I'm just reaching and opening here through my chest, but feeling that deep, deep stretch through my left hip flexor. Good. Exhale, release. Hands come back towards the center. Bring your left hand underneath your left shoulder, and then bring that right hand outside that right foot. And then I want you to extend, send the hips back, straighten our right leg, so you get a feel through this right hamstring. Toes should kind of be lifting up off the floor, but I want you to feel this in the back of your leg. Continue to hold and breathe here. One more deep breath. And holding these movements so you guys really feel this stretch. I want you to connect with your movements of each of these exercises and be really in tune with your body and your postural alignment. Good. Exhale, let's shift the weight forward. Bring your right hand on the inside of that right foot. Then we're just going to bring that right hip back, and then exhale back into child's pose. One deep breath here, inhaling through the nose, and then exhale, release. Good. Let's come back, roll yourself back to that neutral position. Opposite leg. Left foot forward. Both of my hands are inside of that left foot, and then slowly sinking that right hip down into the ground. Again, my right foot is turned flat. My knee is just over my ankles. Should be able to lift up your toes. Most of the weight is being distributed in that left heel. Just hold here and breathe, and allow yourself to sink further and further into this pose. If you have the flexibility with your hips, you can go onto your forearms, just like this. But if you're feeling that stretch and it feels good, I want you to just stay here. And retracting those shoulders back so your clavicle is long. Drawing the shoulders away from those ears. Just hold and breathe. Good. And then when you're ready, placing that left hand on the inside of that left foot, extending, opening the chest, and extending that right arm up towards the sky. And sinking further into the ground. And if this is too hard, just staying here is fine. Just use that modification to stay there until you get a nice deep stretch through that hip flexor. Good. At the end of your exhale, we're going to slowly release that right hand towards the ground on the inside of that left foot, and then twisting, extend that left arm up towards the ceiling. Shoulders are stacked, my hips are still facing the shorter edges of my mat, and my weight is distributed on that left heel. Good. And then exhale, slowly release. Hands come on the inside of that forward foot. Shift the hips back. Straighten out that left leg so you can feel the stretching through your hamstrings. Also, we're rounding here at our back, so you should feel a stretch either in your low back here. So you're getting a double stretch here. Couple more deep breaths here. Good. Exhale, let's bend the knee, tuck the back toes under, and I want you to swing your hips back into downward facing dog, pressing into the palms of your hands. Head is drawing through that deltoid gate, lifting, breathing, nice deep breaths. Again, matching the counts of your breath with your inhalations and exhalations, and then trying to draw those heels as far down to the ground as you can. You can go ahead and bicycle those heels out. If you need more of a stretch in your back legs here, listen to your body. 2 more deep breaths. And last deep inhale. And exhale. And at the end of your exhale, I want you to shift your weight forward. Come into a full high lunge here. So my spine is straight. I'm pressing firmly into the palms of my hands. My wrists are underneath shoulders. Now, if this is too hard for you to hold, just drop to the knees, but maintain that postural alignment. We're gonna come into a side plank. So I'm gonna have you shift your hips up towards the right side. So my right shoulder is aligned with my right wrist. And then you're gonna extend your arm up towards the ceiling. Both legs are elevated. If this is too hard for you, drop that left knee onto the mat, just like this. So use the modifications as needed. I'm gonna hold here and breathe, lifting those hips up towards the sky. 1 deep breath, let's inhale. And then exhale. Now, we're gonna lift our leg up. So you're gonna inhale up, exhale, release. Inhale up, exhale, release. If you need to modify, you're here. Inhale up, exhale, release. Let's take 1 more deep inhale. And then exhale. Go ahead and drop that left arm down towards the mat. Spin the hips. Let's exhale back into downward facing dog. Inhale, let's come to full plank. Exhale to chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, release. Press back up into downward facing dog. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So, inhale, shift the weight forward, retract those shoulder blades. Rotating out towards that right side, so we're putting most of our balance on our left arm. Now, dropping that knee if you need to, or staying extended but lifting those hips as high as you can. One more deep breath. And then when you're ready, we're going to pick up that leg. Let's inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Slow and in control. 1 more inhale, and then exhale. Rotate the hips back to center. Lift back up into downward facing dog. It's a hard movement. There's a lot of strength going on there. There's a lot of core stability happening in that pose as well. So practice those movements in plank, because a stronger core will have you have a stronger back. Good. Go ahead and gaze our eyes towards our fingertips, bend the knees, step forward into forward fold here. And then go ahead and brace your elbows with your hands, allowing yourself to drop further into that pose. And then you can rock yourself from side to side. Feel the release in that low back. Good, let's inhale, lift halfway, flat back. Exhale, release, forward fold, drawing that chest in towards those forward right thighs. And then inhale, reverse swan dive, come all the way back up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good, let's inhale the arms back up. Exhale, forward fold, leading with that chest. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, release, drawing the chest in towards those thighs. Now I want you to bend the knees, bring your hands slightly out in front of you, and then I want you to extend that left leg up towards the sky in standing splits. I'm just gonna hold here. Now if you can, try to keep your hips as square to the shorter edges of your mat if you can. It likes to open up, so try and keep those hips from not rotating. Just hold and breathe. And then exhale, go ahead and drop that back leg, spin it flat, and rise into warrior one. Exhale, open up into warrior two, arms out towards the side. Coming into triangle, I want you to shift the weight back, straighten out this right leg, and then draw your right hand down towards that right foot. Extend that left arm up towards the sky into triangle pose. Breathe. Feel this through your inner thighs. My heels are properly aligned and my shoulders are stacked. Holding and breathing. One more deep breath. And then exhale, slowly release. Hands come to center. And all I want you to do is just draw your chest in towards that forward leg, right leg. Just rounding from the spine. One more deep breath. And then exhale, slowly release. Left hand comes on the inside of that right foot. And then again, you're just turning and twisting, rotating that chest and extending the right arm up towards the ceiling. Again, if you don't have this flexibility yet or this range of motion, that's okay. Just stay in that second pose where you're drawing the chest in towards that forward thigh. Good. Exhale, slowly release. We're gonna windmill our arms back up into warrior two. Good, I want you to straighten that leg, point the toes forward, and then exhale, drop in towards those hips. Again, your back is straight. Let's inhale up. Turn out that left foot, other side, so we're warrior two, other side. So my left foot is in the lead. It's pointing out towards the wall in front of me, and my right leg is flat. Go ahead and straighten that left knee. Drop the left arm towards the left toes and extend that right arm up towards the sky into triangle on the other side. Keeping that core center nice and tight. You should feel strong and sturdy in this pose. Again, not forcing these movements. Can't touch your toes and you're only touching your shin or your knee or your thigh, that's okay. That's where your range of motion is at today. So acknowledge that and don't force it. Good. Exhale, release. Both hands come towards that forward leg, and then you're drawing the chest in towards that left thigh. Just breathing. Try and keep the shoulders relaxed so they're not creeping up through the neck. Good, and then left hand on the inside of that left foot, extend that right arm, twisting your chest, opening up that right shoulder by lifting that left arm up towards the ceiling. Good, and then exhale, slowly release. Windmilling both of those hands back up into warrior two. Good. Pointing those toes forward. Let's inhale and then exhale, drop the hips. Nice and low. Inhale back up. Point the toes forward. Step it back into forward fold. Let's inhale up. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, release. Let's bring the hands out in front. Shift the hips forward. This time we're going to straighten that other leg by bringing that right foot up towards the ceiling. Okay, keeping those hips square to the shoulder edges of your mat. Working on balance here. You can come up on your fingertips, whatever feels most comfortable in the standing splits position. We're just going to hold it and breathe. Keep going. Good. And then exhale, slowly release. Let's lift halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Let's come into downward dog. Pressing through the deltoid gate. Pressing firmly into our hands. Exhale, let's drop the knees and come back onto our sit bones. Extending the legs out front, toes pointed up towards the ceiling. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, reaching forward into forward fold. Another long stretch to that back and also through the back of our legs. Holding and breathing. Good. And then exhale, slowly release. Coming back up, sitting nice and tall. Let's go ahead and bring our hands just pointed towards our glutes. Actually, just pick your hips up towards the ceiling. Nice inverted plank here. Stretching the base of our shoulders. Good. Exhale, release. Good. Just your seating here, come all the way back towards the ground. You're going to elevate your legs up off the ground, and I want you to grab your big toe with your 2 index fingers, and then your elbow should be on the inside of those knees. So, knees are like this. All I want you to do is press those knees out with your elbows so you get another stretch here through your back, through your glutes, through that hip socket. Just hold and breathe. Your feet are making that footprint up onto that ceiling. Just acknowledging this pose. One more deep breath. And exhale, sinking further and further into that mat. Good. At the end of your exhale, go ahead and bring those knees together. Drop the right foot down towards the mat. Toes pointed up, followed by the left foot. And then draw your hands down towards the mat beside you. Go ahead and bring those shoulders from underneath you. Make the collarbone long by relaxing the shoulders, drawing them further into the mat. Keep that core nice and tight but in a neutral position so your low back is planted firmly on the ground. So if it's not, tip your pelvis back so you have that pelvis in a neutral position. Let the knees fall out to the side. Let the ankles fall out to the side. And then go ahead and just close your eyes as we prepare for our final pose of the day, Savasana, which is the pose of rest, the pose of surrender. And I want you to just bring yourself back in towards that breath. Again, equal part breath in through the nose and out through the nose. And with each exhalation of the breath, sinking further and further into that mat beneath you, feeling grounded as much as possible. And then as you exhale, letting all those tensions, worries, anxieties, things you can't control, just let it go. You can acknowledge them, but then just take a deep breath and just let it all go with an exhale. We're going to end our practice today in a few moments of silence, so you can thank yourself and be appreciative of the time you took today to move and stretch your body, because our bodies are made to move. And being proud of yourself with where your practice started and ended today on your yoga journey this afternoon. And then when you're ready, slowly bring awareness back. And open your eyes if your eyes are closed. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Feel the sensation and feeling coming back to life. And then slowly bring up those knees. And then roll over to one side of the body that feels most comfortable. And then when you're ready, take a big inhale. And then exhale. And then at the end of your exhale, slowly pressing yourself back up into that seated position that we started from the very beginning. Let's take 3 deep cleansing breaths. Inhale, arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale, hands to heart center. 2 more times just like that. Inhale up. Exhale, hands to heart center. And then last one, inhale up. And then exhale, hands to heart center. Thank you so much for joining today. I hope you had a great practice. Thanks for taking time to move your body, and we'll talk to you soon. Have a great day.